Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dan Mondragon alongside Matt Panaggio here for the championship game of the second annual Mauro Panaggio Invitational between the College of Brockport Eagles from Rochester, New York, and the Generals of Washington Lee University from Lexington, Virginia, in what's set to be a pretty exciting game of an athletic, fast-paced, tough Brockport Eagles team versus a very disciplined, fundamentally sound, and very skilled Generals team of Washington Lee University. The starting lineups for the Generals will be Will Brueggemann, Mark Lamandola, Devin Kearns, Roy McMillan, and Curtis Mitchell. And the Eagles will start the game with Danny Ashley, Chris Atkinson, Devontae Higgins, Josh Nelson, Justin Summers. Jump ball won by the Generals. Brueggemann kicks it over to Curtis Mitchell for three, and that's good from the corner. Mitchell establishing himself. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Roy McMillan for three from the corner. Atkinson will set up the offense for the Brockport Eagles. Inside to Summers. Working against Mitchell. Passes it to Higgins. A nice connection there from the two bigs. Number 5, Higgins, scores the first basket for the Eagles. Washington Lee the other way. Wide open three in the corner. No good. Rebound by McMillan. Turnover. Here comes Atkinson. Atkinson drives, fade away, blocked by Mitchell. Outlet to Kearns, who will push the break. Ball over to number 5, Lamandola. McMillan will work. Cut to Brueggemann, little leaner, and that's good for two. Nice little jump shot there at the key.
And this game is fast-paced already. Both teams like to push the ball in transition. It's going to be a high-scoring event today.
Danny Ashley with a nice crossover, kicks it to Atkinson, over to Summers with the baseline jump shot, no good. Ball is rebounded by McMillan over to Kearns. He's pushing into the front court. Brueggemann, long three at the top of the key from NBA range, no good, but rebound McMillan keeps it alive. And a silly turnover at the top of the key. Danny Ashley will drive off 2 feet, and he'll get an easy two over Kearns. Kearns will set up the offense. And a switch by Higgins, who steals the ball on the pass to Brueggemann, and he'll have an easy two. Back-to-back turnovers for the Generals that result in layups for the Eagles. Kearns ahead to Lamandola for the baseline jumper, no good. Rebound tip, Brueggemann comes up with it. Skips it over to Kearns, drives middle. Kick back to McMillan. Hands it off to Lamandola on the left wing. Kearns in the corner. Ball is deflected and out of bounds.
This Brockport team started this game with a lot of energy. You could tell they were juiced up to play this game in the warm-ups with the way they're warming up 10 minutes before the game, and it's showing.
Absolutely. Brockport finished in second place of the first annual Mauro Panaggio Invitational last year, so they're here with a little bit of vengeance, little chip on their shoulder, and they're trying to go home with the championship trophy here. And that'll be a travel on the big man, Mitchell.
And I think that's 4 turnovers already for this Washington and Lee team.
Summers at the top. Swings it over. 3 ball is good for number 21, Josh Nelson. Kearns being guarded by Ashley at the top of the key. Swings it over to Lamandola. Mitchell to McMillan in the low block. Nice cut by Kearns. Jump stops. Good block by Summers. Really nice job of walling up. The second shot is no good for Kearns. Here comes Chris Atkinson. The former transfer, played 2 years at Canisius. Transfers to St. Thomas Aquinas. Feeds the big man, and the big man gets a 2 inside.
Summers had an amazing game yesterday against Gallaudet. with 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 blocks.
Yeah, he was a force inside. Him and Higgins, two of the top scorers for this Brockport Eagles team, imposed their will yesterday against the Bison of Gallaudet University, and they're off to a hot start, both of them. Higgins obviously had that steal and breakaway finish, and Summers has had a couple good a block on the defensive end already, has had a couple good shots inside, and the Eagles are off to a really good start, 11-5 with 16:36 to go here in the first half, and timeout by Coach McHugh to try to settle his team down.
The athleticism of this Brockport team is something that Washington and Lee did not see as much of yesterday against Nazareth College. So it's exciting to see this as they come out in this full court trap here.
Yep. Substitution for the Generals. Number 12 will come into the game, Alex Starr. Number 23, Kevin Denon. Ball's in Brueggemann's hands in the corner, working against Atkinson. Great defense by number 3 from the Eagles. Kearns will drive middle, stop and pop, and that's good. Gets the bounce to go. Great job by number 14, Devin Kearns, the senior guard from Texas. Danny Ashley, backdoor cut to Summers, and a smackdown of a dunk on the baseline cut. Great job by the Eagles, taking no time off the clock to score. Kearns will set up. Skip pass to number 33. That's Mark Crawford.
And Brockport is in an interesting 2-3 zone. It looks like a matchup as there's a lot of switching.
Shot is no good for number 12, Alex Starr. Here comes Atkinson. Over to Danny Ashley on the wing. Inside to Higgins. He's going to work against Kearns. Skips it to Josh Nelson. Pump fake. Ashley inside, outside, kicks it to Summers. Summers baseline jumper, no good. Rebound by number 23, Kevin Denon. Kearns will push the break. Swings it over to Denon, and that's good for 3 for the Generals to cut the lead to 3. 13-10, Brockport, 15 minutes to go. Atkinson over to Josh Nelson, wide open look for 3. Just off the mark, rebound Denon. Kicks ahead to Kearns. Over to Crawford, gonna drive in middle, kick it to Brueggemann. Nice, good look for Brueggemann. No good, Atkinson rebound. The Eagles will get it across half court and call a timeout. Nice up-tempo start for both teams as we expected. A couple of turnovers, but the Generals have seemed to settle down a little bit. What are your thoughts so far 5 minutes into the game here, Matt?
First of all, I thought last game was exciting. This game is even higher of a pace
off to a good
than
start.
Last game. Both teams running the floor well. Brockport has switched up their defense a bunch so far. Switching, this 2-3 zone looks like a matchup zone where there's a lot of switching going on, and it's disrupted Washington and Lee. They don't know what to expect. So Brockport's been able to jump a couple passing lanes, get out to a quick start here in transition, which is good for them. They need to continue to do that, use their athleticism to run the floor and get those easy baskets.
Certainly Washington Lee does not look as comfortable as they did yesterday, but only down 3 here early on. So you got to think they'll get settled in, get adjusted to this pressure defense and the different punches that Brockport is throwing, and we're set to have a great game. And he actually kicks to the corner, turnover, great hustle play by Lamondola. Kennan over to Brew. No, that's number 34. That's Roy McMillan. Higgins will bring it down. Almost loses it, but Chris Atkins, pulls up for a tough long 2 for Atkinson off the dribble and a tough shot.
He's a big-time player. Plays with a lot of confidence, knows how to play, good with the ball, smart with the basketball, makes good passes and a good shot there. And McMillan with his 3rd offensive rebound of the game and his 3rd turnover of the game as well.
Atkinson comes up with a steal, feeds it to Higgins. And a late whistle on Lamondola, who looked like he walled up pretty well. But Higgins is going to get the benefit of the doubt, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Number 1 has checked into the game for the Generals. That's Tevin Panchal, freshman from Belmont, California. Went to Spire Academy. If it's the one in Ohio, that's where LaMelo Ball is currently playing high school basketball. This Washington Lee team located in Lexington, Virginia, but has players from California, New Jersey, Texas, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina, New York. So very, very diverse group, whereas Coach Dunn and his Brockport Eagles, all of his players are from the home state of New York. So a little bit different recruiting styles for both coaches, both talented squads. Brockport comes out in a 1-2-2, and they get a turnover at the half-court mark. Number 4, Antonio Alvarez, checks into the game along with number 22. And a 3 is good for Hagens.
And these turnovers for Washington and Lee are starting to hurt them now as Brockport's gotten out to a 9-point lead.
Over to Pinchall, back up top. McMillan with a 15-foot jump shot, no good. Big rebound by Summers.
And this Brockport bench is juiced. Everybody's playing with a lot of energy on the court. And Atkinson, man, that was a
tough
nice
floater. Rebound Mitchell, and another late whistle goes against the Generals.
With this Brockport bench, it looks like an army over there of about 25 guys. We had to get every chair in the state of Florida to fit their bench.
Yeah, they play a lot of guys, and they travel with a lot of coaches as well. 2 former players on the staff. Number 4, Antonio Alvarez, who just checked into the game, had 14 points yesterday. Had a great game, was 4 for 7 from the field, 2 for 5 from
bucket. They don't put their heads down. They get out and get a bucket of their own.
Yes, they do. Here they come. Mitchell gets a nice, easy little floater in the middle of the key. Atkinson will 3. Swing it down to Summers on the baseline, drives it, reverse layup, and just too quick for Curtis Mitchell. Atkinson on Brueggemann. Back out to Kaufman. Ball's tipped away. No travel call. Mitchell comes up with the basketball, kicks it to Brueggemann, whose shot is blocked by the high-flying Hagens. And this Brockport team plays with 2 forwards, Hagens and Summers, both 6'5", but athletic, long, play with a ton of intensity. And Washington Lee with Mitchell and Crawford, more of a old-school style big men. Mitchell is a very skilled big, can play with his back to the basket, down low. Great passer, but right now the athleticism of Brockport and the energy that they're playing with has disrupted the Washington Lee squad. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Kearns works up top. Brueggemann, NBA 3. In and out. Big rebound by McMillan, and he sticks it in. Great cleanup there by number 34, Roy McMillan, the senior from Raleigh, North Carolina.
And his 4th offensive rebound. Brockport needs to get a body on somebody when the shot goes up, box out. If they do that, this lead might even be larger.
Yep, we call it getting your paycheck. You do your job, get your paycheck, get a rebound so you can come score on the other end. But definitely the Generals have been able to hang in against a very tough Brockport team. Both teams come in with a 6-3 record after their victories yesterday. And they're looking to win a championship here in Daytona Beach. Summers and Hagens come into tonight's game averaging a double-double. Summers averages 20 and almost 11 rebounds, and Hagens averaging 15 and almost 11 rebounds as well. One of the stories for the Brockport Eagles this season will be senior point guard Collins, who had an outstanding tournament here last year. Fun to watch, flashy point guard with a lot of swagger. He's out for the season with an ankle injury, and it's given an opportunity to some other guys, and Coach Dunn is excited about the challenge. He will get a medical redshirt for this season and will be able to return for his senior year. Yesterday,
Washington and Lee used their size to to kind of pummel the Nazareth College team. And today, with Brockport's athleticism, they haven't been able to do that quite as much as they're in that 2-2-1. Brockport breaks easily.
Atkins will set it up, the experienced point guard. All deflected by Kearns. And the future is also bright for this Brockport program, who will return Summers, Hagans. Josh Nelson is one of the only seniors they're losing. And with Collins coming back next year and returning those two young bigs, they've got a chance to have some success for the next few years. Danny Ashley, who's in the starting lineup, is a freshman. So they've got some young guys getting some really good minutes. Atkins working against Mitchell. Throws it over top to Summers against the double team. Nice block by McMillan. Kicks it over to Brueggemann, who will push the break. And he's going to shuffle his feet on the pump fake.
Another turnover.
Another turnover for the Generals. Danny Ashley, the freshman, will set the offense up for the Eagles. Ball screen with Summers. Goes with the inside hand, and Curtis Mitchell denies him at the rim. Summers trapped in the corner over Atkins with a long three ball. No good, but the rebound by the Eagles, jump stop, and another block. Oh no, just missed the whole backboard there.
Looked like it slipped right out of his hands, but the size of Washington and Lee is starting to alter some of these Brockport layups and shots inside the paint.
Brockport showing 2-3. Nice drive by Brueggemann, kicks it out to McMillan, who knocks down the three. Great play to get inside of the zone, kick the basketball out to a wide open McMillan, who from there he's not going to miss very much.
Second three of the night, and he's having a great tournament. Yesterday had a great game, including two ferocious dunks, and today picking up where he left off.
Great senior player for the Generals. We got an offensive foul on Brockport. It'll be Generals basketball. The big three for the Generals coming into tonight's matchup: McMillan, Kearns, and Brueggemann, all playing pretty well here to start the night. McMillan drives, draws contact, no call. Hagans will push the break the other way. Right to left crossover, finger roll, no good. Ball rebounded by Kearns, kicks it ahead to a wide open McMillan. And he's going to get an easy two for the Generals.
I think McMillan is the game high scorer so far with 10.
Freshman Danny Ashley rushes one inside, gets no good, and it's Generals ball on the other end. Not pull up by Kevin Denon, no good. Rebound Hagans. And Ashley will walk it up. Ball over to Austin Lee, sophomore. Hagans works up top against McMillan. No good. Falls down, kicks it out to Josh Nelson.
What a play. Great hustle play by Hagans.
And Ashley will set it back up. Summers trips on the low block. Hagans is going to work against Mitchell. Kicks it to Ashley. No good. Rebound Kearns. Here come the Generals. 3-on-2. Kearns flips it to Mitchell, and he misses the wide point-blank layup. Tips out to Brueggemann, who nails the three for the Generals. And we got a wet spot here on the other side of the court.
Not exactly how Coach McHugh drew it up, I don't think, but it worked out for him. Missed the layup, end up getting an open three.
2 for 3 on sale.
Yeah.
Mitchell off to a slow start. Had a great game yesterday. Both big men yesterday played extremely well. (24-23). Washington Lee University with the lead. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the first half of the championship game. Ashley being guarded by Kearns. Side pick and roll with Summers. Washington and Lee switches. Looking to go inside. Kearns is fronting the post. They get it into Summers, but a turnover. Kearns comes up with it. Drives it. And some contact. And it's going to be a foul on the shot.
And the tides are turning here as Washington and Lee is starting to feel a lot more comfortable. And Brockport looks a little bit less energetic as the momentum's not going their way anymore.
Certainly so. The Generals look a little bit more comfortable defensively, contesting shots, getting rebounds, and they're able to push in transition and get easy basket. Kearns makes his first substitution for both teams. Number 12 for the Generals will come in. Alex Starr, senior from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, will check in for Denon. And number 12, Kennedy Gay, will check in for the Eagles, and he will give Danny Ashley a breather. Ball inbounded to Lee. Washington Lee in a press. To the middle to number 15, Xavier Merriweather. Shot no good. And correction, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 for the Eagles is Devontae Jones. Ball inbound to Summers, throws it to Merriweather. Over to Kennedy Gay. Tries to post feed Summers, but that ball is deflected. And Crawford doing a great job being active in the low block, not allowing an easy post feed, and it results in a turnover.
And Summers is getting a little frustrated here as he's not getting these good passes into the post where he can work and score for this Brockport team.
Ball pass from Kearns deflected. Getting it over to Brueggemann, contested three, and man, that is good. The kid can play.
This Washington
only a sophomore.
It's good. Got
but
a lot
he's
of talent.
A good ball player. Yes, he is. Jones will get the ball across inside to Summers. Will work against Crawford. Little floater off 1 foot, no good. Tip in by Jones is also no good. Kearns will push the break the other way. Kearns working on Kennedy Gay on the wing. Little miscommunication. Drives it off 2 feet and a foul. Kearns, the senior from Texas. Big size for a point guard, and does a great job using his strength, going off 2 feet, leaning in with the inside shoulder, and drawing the contact. First free throw is good, and we have a timeout. The lead is now up to 7 for the Generals with 6.5 to go. If you're Brockport, Matt, what are you telling your team right now? What does Coach Dunn need to do here to get back in this game and cut the lead down?
To start off the game, they were the ones forcing the turnovers with their energy and their defense and their pressure. And now I think this Washington and Lee team is doing the same. They're starting to force Brockport into some turnovers, trying to get the force feed the ball to Summers, who's been their go-to guy in this tournament so far. And they haven't been able to get it to him, and he's getting a little frustrated with the passes, and it's starting to have an effect on their defense where Washington and Lee is now becoming more confident. So I think Brockport just needs to run their stuff, run their offense, get good shots, and slow this momentum by this Washington and Lee team. Because once they get going, they can put points on the board quickly.
Yeah, for sure. You get the sense that the Generals just needed a little bit of time to adjust to the pressure and intensity of the Brockport Eagles, and they've done that, taking the lead here, now up 7 on Brockport. Kearns will shoot his second. Kearns will get a breather. He'll be subbed in by Tevin Penchall. Freshman getting some good minutes early in the first half here. Chris Atkinson will set the offense up for Brockport over to Kennedy Gay. Inside to Summers. Drives baseline. Mitchell walls up and blocks the shot from Summers. Penchall over to number 12, Alex Starr, who swings it to McMillan. McMillan will get a screen from Mitchell. Freshman Penchall up top of the key, 14 on the shot clock. Inside to the big fella Mitchell, jabs right, drives middle, loses the ball. Higgins comes up with it, kicks it to Atkinson. Over to Kennedy Gay for the transition three. No good. Rebound by Kevin Denon. Good defense by Atkinson to stop the fast break. McMillan will work one-on-one versus Summer. Flips it underneath to Denon. Up, gets him off his feet, and a nice little head fake there by Denon. Brockport coming the other way, Higgins on the wing. Reverses it to Kennedy Gay. Josh Nelson with the basketball on the left wing. Up top to Atkins, drives, crossover. Nice pull up there. Ooh. Sweet spot there for Atkinson. Looked comfortable, created space with the crossover. And a nice pull up. Brockport back to the 2-3.
Atkinson does a good job with his change of speeds. He's a very quick guard. Not great size, but he uses his quickness to get a shot off. And right there, man, he's tough to guard one-on-one. Yeah,
for a 5'9" guy to play at Canisius, you got to have some tools. And he's definitely does a great job for this Eagles squad here. Mitchell over to Penchall. The freshman will take a three, and that's good. Good shot. Confident stroke by the freshman. Lead is now up to 11. 4:30 to go here in the first half. Kennedy Gay will get a ball screen from Higgins at the top of the key. Over to Summers, jabs. Working against Mitchell. Contested two, no good. Rebound McMillan, outlet to Penchall. And here come the Generals. McMillan inside to Mitchell. Works against Summer. Up and under. Left hand. And a sweet move, but no good on the shot. Just barely misses it. Coach Dunn will set up a play here. Atkinson running the show. Little dribble weave. Nelson to Kennedy Gay. Into a ball screen. Inside hand layup, no good. Blocked by Mitchell. The ball is deflected. And we got Generals basketball.
Mitchell has done a great job in the last few minutes containing Summers, protecting the basket, and rebounding the ball. He's a very good player that anchors that defense for the Washington and Lee.
Can't ask for much more from a big man. Some substitutions for the General. Brueggemann will check back in, as well as Lewis, the junior from Houston, Texas. Alvarez back into the game for the Brockport Eagles. And Stroman as well. Ball inside to McMillan, who works against Higgins inside to get the easy two on the left block. Three ball good for Alvarez, who's having himself a great tournament off the bench for the Eagles. 2-3 zone by Brockport.
And it's not your typical 2-3 zone where they're super aggressive, switching and getting in passing lanes and pressuring the basketball.
So definitely disrupting the Generals. Brueggemann gets a three, but no good. Atkinson rebound. And you're right, it's a funky zone. It looks half man, like a little matchup, but definitely doesn't look easy to play against. And Alvarez, another shot. That's his third triple of the night. He's doing a great job for the Eagles. McMillan up top. Fakes the handoff all the way inside, no contact. And Atkinson will walk it up. 2:30 to go. 31-38. Still in favor of the Generals. Lewis on Atkins. Higgins will work against Brueggemann. skips it to Atkinson. A little bit of a wild pass will go out of bounds, and it'll be Generals basketball.
Turnovers
Crawford
have been the name of the game
for both teams.
Yep.
Crawford will check back into the game, as well as Kearns. A quick breather. Freshman pinch out, did his job, coming in, hitting a three. Now you get your senior point guard back in the game, who immediately turns it over, trying to hit Crawford on the slip. And then the Brockport Eagles will turn it back.
That's about 3 turnovers in, 10 seconds?
Yep, a little bit sloppy play by both clubs here. Kearns will set up the offense screen for Crawford. Rejects it. Great defense by Hagens. Little fake reverse. Reverse layup, and Hagens is all over with the athleticism and length. A little smack talk. Little MJ-esque fake reverse there to get to the baseline, but Hagens with a great recovery to block the shot. And back to Crawford, back to Kearns. Shoots a little fade away in the short corner, no good. Rebound by number 25. Kearns will push the break for the Generals. Looks at the star, over to Lewis, skips it to Brueggemann, good look, just inside the NBA line, and short. Stroman rebounds to Atkinson. Atkinson will hold it, 10 seconds on the shot clock. In the pinch post to Hagens. Alvarez pump fakes, drives, little floater, and he gets it to go with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Nice play there by Brockport.
And he's got 11.
He's off to a great start for the Eagles. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Kearns receives the handoff from Crawford. Crawford dives to the basket. He's working against number 25. My apologies, I don't have a 25 on the roster. Stroman will switch on the wing onto Brueggemann. 8 on the shot clock. Brueggemann working, drives left, off 1 foot, off balance. Great defense, ball deflected. Hagens comes up with it.
Great defensive possession.
Great possession. Atkinson will hold for the last shot. 12 seconds on the clock. Left wing. Atkinson will drive right past Lewis, and he will foul him. 6.3 left. Summers will check back in. Denon and McMillan looked like they were going to check in.
And, you know, that's smart basketball right there. They have fouls to give. They got 2 more fouls to give. A lot of basketball teams, even at the highest level of Division I, they don't know that.
They wouldn't
this Washington and Lee team is high IQ.
Really a smart foul because he was beat. He would have had a layup.
Yeah, he was beat.
Knows he has another foul to give. Atkinson working up top, and he's going to take another foul.
And Atkinson, smart play there. In the NBA,
Really?
he might have gotten those 3 shots, but here, I don't think so.
And now you force Coach Dunn to have less and less time each possession. So now you've got 2.4, ball on the side, a lot less time to get a quality shot. Let's see what they drop here. 2 seconds. Atkinson takes it from deep, and an air ball. And that was from the parking lot. And we'll go into the half. Washington Lee University, 38. Brockport, 33. Great first half. Lot of threes, a lot of transition points. 2 teams really competing their hearts out here on Championship Monday of the 2nd annual Mauro Panaggio Invitational.
Stats.
We will have stats for you guys shortly, and but really a fun first half, really up tempo. Both teams throwing punches, as I like to call it, at each other, switching defenses, going from man to zone to press, and really a high level of basketball on both ends of the floor for both teams. What are your thoughts so far on both of these clubs, and what adjustments do they need to make in this locker room here?
First of all, this is such a high-level basketball game.
It is fun to watch.
Division III basketball, you know, a lot of people don't realize it, but this is such high level. Both these teams have multiple division, possibly even Division I basketball players on these teams. and they put it all together and play for their teams. Both, I mean, this is an amazing matchup between these two teams. Different styles, but it's an exciting game so far.
No, you're absolutely right. It's high-level basketball, not just the talent, but the IQ, the competition level, the intensity. Um, if your average high school basketball player walked in here, um, they'd be shocked. They'd be shocked to see how hard these guys are competing, how well they play together, high level of coaching. Both of these guys do a great job with their programs, and that's why it's so entertaining and it goes overlooked so often. Kids only get to see the big time Division I programs in on TV and in the news, and a lot of times small college basketball is a lot of fun. I played NAIA basketball, you played Division II basketball, so we speak from experience about the level of the competition, but just the passion, and it's the same passion that Division I athletes play with. It's just at a smaller college level. And we have some stats here. The Washington and Lee Generals leading scorer is Roy McMillan with 12 points, 7 rebounds, so he's had a great first half. And then Brockport, more balanced attack. Justin Summers, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Chris Atkinson, 4 points, 4 assists. And Devontae Higgins with 8 points and 6 rebounds. So the Brockport Eagles have had a balanced scoring attack, and they've also got 8 points from Antonio Alvarez in just 7 minutes of play. Pretty impressive for Alvarez to come in off the bench and be that productive that quickly. The sophomore guard from Brockport, New York, right at home.
Something that stands out to me is Roy McMillan. He's got 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He's got 4 turnovers, but he's putting his hands everywhere in this game. He's affecting the game in so many different ways. To me, if Washington and Lee can keep this up and win this game, he's the MVP of this tournament so far.
He's been very good for the Generals, no doubt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second half of the championship game here at the second annual Mauro Panaggio Invitational. And we are back here for the second half of the second annual Mauro Panaggio Invitational Tournament between the Washington Lee University Generals and the College of Brockport Eagles. The score is 38-33 in favor of the Generals. It'll be Brockport basketball. Both teams with the same starting five to start the second half here. Ball inbounded to Danny Ashley. Pump fakes to the corner, goes up. No good, but stick back by Summers. The lead is down to 3. Mitchell at the top of the key, swings it over. Dribble handoff to Kearns. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll be Washington Lee basketball. Nice pump fake by McMillan to get the defender up in the air for the easy 2. Lead back up to 5. Danny Ashley, top of the key, ball screen rejects, kicks it to Hagans, and steps out of bounds. Good ball versus to Lemondola. Down low to Mitchell, who turns it over. Danny Ashley plays the passing lane. Atkinson one-on-one against Lemondola. And the layup is no good. He's calling for a foul. Ball deflected off of Brueggemann. It'll be Brockport basketball. Ball inbounded to Hagans, top of the key. Working against Kearns, over to Ashley. Atkinson versus Lemondola. Mishandles it. Lemondola doing a good job defensively. Danny Ashley against Brueggemann. Great defense here. 12 on the shot clock. Inside to Summers versus McMillan. Looks at the shot clock. Starts to work. Pump fake. Hagans with a mid-range jump shot. No good. Gets his own rebound. Goes up. Ball is deflected, but Summers comes up with it. Coach Dunn calls for a reset of the offense. Atkinson will lead. And a contested 2 by Atkinson. Great defense by the Generals. Kearns the other way. McMillan over to Mitchell. Dribble handoff to Lemondola, who pulls for 3. Just short. Kearns with the rebound. Back out to McMillan. McMillan on Josh Nelson. Drives it. The runner, no good. Deflected by Summers. Ends up in the lap of Lemondola. 3 ball, no good. 2 bodies hit the floor. That's McMillan and Josh Nelson, and a double foul on the box out.
A double foul. I'm not sure why it's Washington and Lee ball, though.
Yeah, confusing call there. I'm confused about it myself. Brockport's bench got fired up about the other 4 guys not helping their teammate up. 2 former players now on the coaching staff for Brockport. Hamed Selden, who had a great tournament here last year, and Abdoulaye Sal, both assistant coaches this year for Dunn and his staff. Brockport in the 2-3. Lemondola for 3 again and gets it to go. Good looking jump shot there by Lemondola. Ashley will set up the offense. And a reach-in foul caught against Lemondola on Hagans.
Got a little too excited there. But I like the energy. Good defense so far by Washington and Lee. Brockport's done a better job this half getting to the offensive glass, as they had 0 second chance buckets in the first half. Already here, 2 offensive rebounds and one bucket by Summers.
Crawford, Denon, and Starr will check into the game. They'll give Mitchell, Lemondola, and McMillan a breather. Lemondola, freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Really a talented, good size for a freshman. Great body and a talented player. Some good freshmen here on display for both squads. Danny Ashley getting a lot of minutes at the point guard position for Brockport with the absence of Tyler Collins, who would have been their senior starter this year. So great experience for these young kids to get some valuable minutes here in a high-level game. Summers will make the first of two, 43-36, just under 18 minutes to go here in the second half. Summers makes both, and Brockport in a press. Ball's thrown ahead to Starr. Back to Brueggemann, rips through. Atkinson gets his hands on it, loose ball.
Love the hustle.
Bodies flying. Great hands by Atkinson.
Oh, come on.
And we got a foul call on Brockport. Fans, coaches, and players pretty disappointed. And that'll be a warning on Coach Dunn and his bench.
Coach Dunn is not happy about that call.
Oh, man. Come on, baby.
Protecting his players after their hustle, and that was good defense. I'm not sure about that call either.
Crawford at the top of the key will get the ball to Kearns. Over to Starr.
Get out there.
Brueggemann in the middle. Back cut to Crawford. Pivots, escapes. Back out to Kearns. 6 on the shot clock. Jabs. Long three. Just off the mark. Big rebound by Summers.
Summers now with 10 points, 8 rebounds, leading this Brockport squad.
Summers calling for it. Atkinson lobs it up, and a misplaced basketball. Crawford, good job being active. Faked like he was fronting and then fought around to the back and actually stole the pass. Denon over to Kearns, over to Starr, all the way to Brueggemann. Pump fakes, one dribble pull-up. Just off the back of the rim. Starr hustles behind the back pass, mishandled by Kearns, and that's going to be Brockport basketball. Didn't feel he needed the behind the back pass.
And that's unlike Washington and Lee, a very disciplined team to make a silly turnover like that.
Number 25, Jihadi Wallace checks into the game. Just became eligible yesterday and is added to the roster here today. Summers drives baseline through two people and gets it to go. We got a wet spot on the floor.
Man, Summers is an animal in the paint.
He is an absolute beast.
I would not want to guard that guy. And they're going to stop play with this wet spot. And Sean Henry, DME general manager, will clean it up for us.
No job is too small for Sean Henry. And he's getting down, wiping up the floor to make sure nobody slips and hurts themselves. 43-39. Washington Lee still in the lead. Ball inbounded to Alvarez. We'll give it back up to Higgins, to Ashley to set it up. Coach Dunn signaling for a play. 4 high set. Ball over to Wallace on the left wing. He's going to work out against Kearns. Drives left. Good defense by Kearns. Higgins, tough contested pull-up. Rebound by Denon. Kearns, and here comes the general. Throw ahead, deflected by Higgins. Also tipped by Brueggemann, the intended receiver. And it's going to be Brockport basketball. A couple of substitutions here for the Generals. McMillan will check back in. Lamondola will check back in. And Mitchell will check back into the game. Danny Ashley on the right side. Pick and roll with Higgins. Summers versus Mitchell. Looked at a foul call. Looked like a travel. But the referee must have seen something different. That'll be Brockport basketball underneath. Trey Lewis will check into the game and give Lamondola a breather. Higgins working against McMillan. Good defense, walling up and gets stepped on by Mitchell. Summers comes up with the offensive rebound. Higgins a little bit slow to get up. 23 on the shot clock. Ball to Summers in the pinch post. Pulls it out, faces up. Nice spin move and an athletic move high above the rim. Kearns over to Mitchell. Hangs on to it, gets to the Denon. Back up to McMillan. Pump fake, one dribble, crossover, jump stop. And ball stripped away, and here comes Wallace. Can't handle it, but he ends up with the basketball in the corner. Back up to Higgins. The Eagles will slow down. Higgins working against McMillan. Over to Wallace, drives baseline, off 2 feet. And a blocking foul called on McMillan, who thought he was going straight up. And Brockport has cut into this lead, has the game to 2 points with 14:40 to go. What are you seeing? Do you see anything different? What do you see from this Brockport team that has allowed them to cut this lead to 2?
It has a lot to do with Justin Summers. In the second half already, he has 8 points and 4 rebounds. Out of their, what is it? He's got all 8 points this half.
He's been a force. He's been a force inside.
So he's really offensively just energized this Brockport team as they get into that press.
Wallace makes it a 1-point game. Come on the press, but the Generals no real issues handling the press of the Eagles. Ball swung over to Denon. Skip to Lewis. In the short corner to Mitchell. Start to work, hands it off to Lewis, drives baseline. To McMillan, jab. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Splits the defense down the middle, and he's going to be fouled. Referee says going up, he'll have a pair of free throws here shortly with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Great heads-up play by McMillan to get to the rim and draw the contact there. First free throw is no good for McMillan.
Rack out.
Makes the second. Ball about to Higgins, and here come the Generals with their press. 2-2-1. Summers over in the left side. Back to Danny Ashley in the middle. Trap. Gets it across to Summers, and they match up in a man-to-man. Coach Dunn calling for a set play. Ashley orchestrating. Spins back left. Nice little dump down to Higgins to a cutting Summers, but no good. Passes mishandled. Kearns the other way with the left hand finish. No good. Outlet to Ashley and a long pass that's deflected by McMillan. Great hustle to get back into that play.
These point guards are not afraid to push the ball and throw it ahead to these running bigs. And this is a fast-paced game.
It is. Both teams love the up-tempo, love to get out and run and score baskets in transition. Inbound by Higgins, lobs it to Summers, and an easy jam right by the bystander of McMillan. Just got lost there. Didn't put a body in. We got a tie game with 13:30 to go.
16 points, 9 rebounds for Summers. A great game in this championship game to tie it up.
Ball deflected by Ashley. Kearns comes up with it. The senior drives baseline, retreats, and he pulls up for 3. No good. Big rebound by McMillan with the stick back.
And
what
he
a play.
is now the game-high leader with 17 and also closing in on a double-double. I think that's his 8th rebound.
Yeah, he's been all over the place defensively, offensively, and a great effort there to get his hands on that basketball in the middle of a lot of traffic and to be able to stick that basketball back in to put his team up too. 46-44 here, 13:04 left in the second half, and it looks like it's going to be a great finish for both of these teams. The tempo is still high, the intensity is still there, and we should have a outstanding finish to this championship game here.
And the gym is silent as we listen to Coach McHugh and Coach Dunn rally their teams in this championship game, which has been a very exciting one.
It has, and it seems every time Coach McHugh has answered when Brockport presses, he seems to be jumping into his press as well. Both teams going punch for punch through the first 3 quarters of this game. And Washington Lee comes on a 1-2-2. Throw it over top to Wallace. He'll get it across half court easily. Over to Alvarez. Ashley will drive it middle. Kicks it to Wallace, who will pull it back. Alvarez with a quick trigger. Had the mismatch inside for Summers. Pulls it no good. Kearns coming the other way to Mitchell. Swings it over to Brueggemann. Brueggemann snaps it past to Denon. To the pin post to Kearns. Back to Brueggemann. Crosses over. Danny Ashley traps. Bounce pass to Kearns. Reverse layup, no good. Mitchell sticks it in with the follow. Great job by the big fella to clean up the glass. The Generals on a 2-2-1. Fall back into a 2-3. Summers on Mitchell. Higgins cuts up top to Ashley. Drives, floater for Ashley. The freshman gets an easy basket. Great move there to drive middle. Ashley gets his hand on another basketball, and he's been very active. Great freshman.
Big man catching it in the high post area. You got to be careful behind you when you put the ball on the floor.
Yep, and Ashley's quick. He's got great hands, and he's been very, very active. He's gotten a lot of deflections and loose balls. Brockport basketball. Inbound to Atkinson, who checks back into the game. Freshman Penchala. Guard him. Penchala, I'm sorry. 2-3 zone for Washington and Lee. Crawford, Brueggemann in the back line with McMillan. Kick out to Ashley, wide open in the corner, no good. Good box out by Brueggemann, and he'll lead the break himself. Working on Alvarez, drives middle, flips it to McMillan. Ball deflected, no foul. Wanted the call there. It'll be Generals basketball underneath.
And they're letting them play today, and I like it. It's making it more intense. Guys getting a little chippy.
Denon for three, deep. Three from the top of the key by Denon. Throws up the double, triple sign, and he's got it going. Nice shot there by number 23, Kevin Denon, the junior from Savannah Parks, Maryland. Ashley splits the defense, kicks it to Summer. 3 ball on the way, air ball. Denon with the rebound, kicks it ahead to Penchal. He's going to pump fake, flip it to McMillan, who skips it to Denon. Drives baseline, jump stop, back to McMillan. Back to Denon, pump fake. Sidestep, McMillan, mid-range jump shot. No good. Big time rebound by Summers, gets it to Atkinson.
And Summers now with a double-double. With still 10 minutes to play in the second half.
There's Dunn and signal. Looks like he wants something. Attack a mismatch maybe. Atkinson gets a look in the corner and a 3 ball by the senior guard.
Ooh, stepped out, yep.
And Brueggemann rips and steps out of bounds. Turnover, Washington and Lee. Alex Starr will check into the game for Kevin Denon. Wallace will check out. And Stroman will come back in to the game. Junior guard from Syracuse, New York. Stroman catches in the middle. 1-2. Floater, no good. And it's going to be a turnover.
A little out of control there. as he just checked in. Got to get his feet
Yeah.
wet.
2-3 zone by Brockport. Both teams showing a little bit of zone today. Brueggemann drives left, jump stops. Back out to Star, over to Crawford, to Pinchal, and he's got another triple. Big minutes from the freshman, Tevin Pinchal from Belmont, California. Ball up top, Atkinson pick and roll with Summers. Falls down, but is able to get it to Hagans, who scores the easy 2 behind the back line of that defense. Pinchal kicks it to Crawford, ball reversal to Star, wild pass. Brockport staying in the 2-3 zone. Pinchal at the top. 15 on the shot clock. Coach McHugh calling a play. Pinchal going to work. Alex Starr back to Pinchal on the wing. Pump fake. Starr drives middle, splits the top. Little floater, no good. Rebound Alvarez. Outlet to Hagans, he'll push. Brockport really trying to control tempo here. Coach Dunn calling set plays, 1-4 set, 4 high set. Backdoor cut by Stroman. Isolation for Hagans. No foul there. Wanted the foul. Outlet to Brueggemann, who's going to drive it.
He got away with a wall.
Got away with a LeBron James NBA-style travel. Stroman will take advantage, drives to the middle, no good. Summers, offensive rebound, and finally a foul call on number 12, Alex Starr. And Brueggemann a little shaken up after that shot. So a couple of no calls. Brockport.
Can we get this Summers guy to play for our DME team?
Yeah,
this guy's everywhere.
This guy can help any team at any level. He's good.
Blocks a shot on one end, offensive rebound, gets to the line here.
Big free throw. First one's good.
I'm very impressed with his play today.
He's been very, very solid for the Eagles, and you can see how he's averaging a double-double. It's not often you find a team with 2 guys, one guy averaging a double-double, let alone 2. The two-headed monster of Hagans and Summers is a lot to deal with for all these teams. And speaking of monsters, we got skinny little monster here, Moussa Diabate, all the way from Paris, France. Weighs about 180 pounds at 6'10". 54-52. Washington Lee still in the lead over Brockport. 8:11 to go. Next foul for the Generals will put Brockport in the 1-on-1. See how that plays a factor here down the stretch. Hagans and Stroman exchanging some words passionately about this game. Summers' second free throw, no good. Rebound, Brueggemann kicks it up to Kearns, who will work on the left side of the floor. Ball to McMillan in the high post area. Over to Crawford, swings it to Kearns, pulls up, and a smooth-looking stroke from 15 feet for the senior, Kearns. Lead back up to 4. Atkinson takes a 3. Back of the rim, rebound to Alvarez. Ooh, Coach Dunn there signaling for his point guard to pull it out, take it easy, but Atkinson goes in all the way and an acrobatic shot and gets the 2 to go. Brueggemann over to McMillan, wide open, pump fake, side step, and a big-time shot by the senior McMillan, who continues to come up big for the Generals here down the stretch. 59-54, Washington Lee in the lead. Ball over to Stroman on the left side. Alvarez working on Kearns. Dribble weave, Hagans crosses over, little runner in the lane, no good. Kearns, Starr with the rebound. Outlet to Kearns. McMillan swings it to Starr. McMillan in the high post area. Flips it down to Crawford. Crawford doesn't look like he wants to score down there. 7 seconds on the shot clock. The no-look pass. McMillan, big shot. 3 on the clock. Count it. McMillan, the senior, continues to impose his will on this game and this Brockport defense, and he's coming up huge. Lead is up to 7 now for the Generals. Brockport's going to take a timeout. Big time play here from the senior from North Carolina, Roy McMillan, who has scored the last 5 points straight and much needed time. Lead is up to 7 with 6:11 left. And, you know, as a coach, as a team, you want to count on your seniors. And Kearns and McMillan have both been very, very solid. When they need shots the most, those guys are making the plays.
Yeah, and McMillan especially. He started off the game with a bunch of turnovers, but really settled in. He's up to 22 points now. And I think 9 rebounds, a couple assists. He's played a great game and a great tournament. And it looks like if Washington and Lee finishes this off, we'll definitely be the MVP of this tournament.
So far, he has been just that. The senior from North Carolina has led both games this tournament, and he's come in. He is one of their leading scorers, the leading scorer at almost a double-double, 16.9 and 9 rebounds per game. And Brockport will set up the offense. Atkinson working on Kearns. Mitchell switches onto him, pulls up from downtown, back of the rim, no good. Lamondola passes it to Kearns. Mitchell's running the floor, swings it to McMillan, NBA 3. In and out, no good. But an offensive rebound by Starr. Ball is loose. Mitchell dives on the floor, flips it to McMillan, and a timeout by Coach McHugh. Great hustle by the big fella to get on the floor and come up with that loose ball. If McMillan would have hit that NBA 3, that would have been a ridiculous run by the senior.
Yeah, that was a great play there and a good timeout there by Coach McHugh as play kind of got a little crazy.
Yeah, no question. 5:47 left here in the championship game of the second annual Mauro Invitational, and it looks like it's going to be a good one. Brockport is down 7. Timeout. Coach McHugh. Plenty of time left for a lot of things to happen. No need for the Eagles to panic in any way. They can slowly chip away at this lead, but the way that they can score and turn people over, a 7-point lead is not much to overcome.
Yeah, and it's crunch time here. I'm excited to see who shows up, and I'm excited to see Summers' play.
Big shot by Kevin Denon in the corner, no good, but the ball is tipped, kept alive by Lamondola, and it'll end up in the hands of senior McMillan over to Kearns. Coach Hugh is calling a set. Kearns will run it against this 2-3 zone of Brockport. Ball's reversed to Lamondola. Mitchell smashes the big on the low side. Lamondola dribbles around, kicks it to Kearns. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball in Denon's hands. McMillan. He's got Kearns on the wing. Takes it himself in a tough, off-balance floater. Beautiful move by McMillan. Continues to dominate here in the second half. Hagan's working on McMillan. Flips it to Ashley. Jump stop. McMillan walls up. Great job defensively. Mitchell comes up with the ball. Gives it to Kearns. He's going to attack the bigs. Off 2 feet. Inside hand. Over Summers, and the bench is going crazy. Lead up to 11 now. 4:48 to go. Danny Ashley with the basketball over to Wallace. Hagan's with the ball working on McMillan. Summers on Mitchell. Poked away, and the foul is called on the big man.
Yeah, and they desperately needed to stop the bleeding here. I think Summers will be able to shoot a 1-and-1 to slow this pace down as Washington and Lee, led by McMillan, is feeling comfortable and confident late in this game.
Yeah, and yesterday I was extremely impressed with their defensive discipline, their ability to contest shots at the rim by walling up, not fouling, and throughout the game, Brockport was able to get to the free throw line, was able to get layups, but now down the stretch, it seems like their bread and butter, their defense is coming up big. A beautiful contest earlier by McMillan, straight up and down. I mean, that's tough to score over as Summers hits his first of 2 free throws. Much needed for the Eagles. Lead is 10. Hits both of them. Turns into the front court. McMillan in the high post, over to Kenneth. Lemondola with a contested 3, no good. Kearns keeps it alive off the front end of the rim. McMillan comes up with it to Mitchell in the high post, back out to Kennan. McMillan for 3, and an air ball. No need to shoot that early there, in my opinion. Offensive rebound, clock is on your side. But McMillan felt it, and coach is going to give him a little breather, see if he puts him back in to finish the game. Atkinson will bring it into the front court for the Eagles, working on Kearns. Ball over to Summers on the right, pinch post, drives middle, and a foul call on Mitchell, who looked to be vertical. But a push on the shot, and Summers will get another pair of free throws here. And as you would expect, the go-to players for each team are stepping up when it matters most. In the last 2 possessions, they've given the ball to Summers in the pinch post, allowed him to go to work one-on-one, and he's been a little bit too much for Mitchell to stay in front of, and has forced 2 fouls. Misses his first. Second free throw to cut the lead to 9. Makes the second. And Brockport showing 1-2-2 press. Kearns splits it. This guy's good. He does not seem bothered by the pressure one bit. Splits it, draws the foul. And very poised, very savvy running the show here.
Very high-level guard play from both teams.
Mitchell at the top, sends it to Lemondola, working against the zone, and he turns it over. The freshman turns it. Atkinson coming the other way, walls up. Tough shot by Atkinson, who's hit 2 of those now. Fading away, great job by Lemondola to contest, and Kearns will settle his team down, working against that zone. Swings it over to Denon. Back over to Kearns, drives middle, jump stop, fade away, and no good. And we have a foul. And that's going to be on Wallace on the rebound. But a tough shot by Kearns.
The little one-legged Dirk fadeaway. He shot one yesterday and it rimmed out, but he seems confident in his shot. We just haven't seen him make one of those yet in this tournament.
Ball up top to Kevin Denon. Over to Kearns on the wing, inside to McMillan, pump fakes. Working in the middle, step through, back out to Denon, swings it to Kearns. 3 ball on the way, count it. 3 minutes to go, lead is up to 9 for the Generals. Atkinson coming down, working on Kearns. Over to Wallace, he'll attack McMillan. Inside hand and a tough shot by Jihadi Wallace, the junior, who just joined the team. And a big bucket late in the game. Ball over to Denon. Inside to Mitchell. Draws 2, back up by Brueggemann, no good, but Mitchell with the stick back also misses. And here come the Eagles. 2:30 left to play. Atkinson drives baseline, keeps his dribble. Steve Nash-like. Jabbing, working against Kearns, pulls up off the dribble, no good. Chases it, tips it, no good. Outlet to Kearns. And this game continues to be up-tempo. Kearns drives baseline, tries the reverse on Summer, draws the contact. And the senior point guard will go to the line for a pair of free throws. Big shots coming up for Kearns. Couple of players kneeling down, hands on the knees. Fatigue has got to be playing a factor here late in the game as both teams have played at a high tempo. First free throw is good. Some substitutions for Brockport. Alvarez, Hagens will check into the game. And Josh Nelson and Stroman will get a break.
Yeah, late in this game, it's been a lot about the guard play with Kearns and Atkinson going at it these last couple plays. Both really talented guards that control the tempo and control their offensive team.
Big free throws by Kearns there as he makes both.
And Greg Dunn calls a timeout, wants to draw up a play here. I'd like to see him go a little two-man game with Summers and Atkinson. I think those are two guys that have it going here a little bit tonight. And this is a crucial moment. With 2 minutes to go, they really need a bucket here to continue to cut into this lead.
Big possession for College of Brockport Eagles. Down 9, 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. Both teams will now be in the bonus, so could also play a factor. And we'll see what Coach Greg Dunn draws up here to get hopefully a good look here offensively. If you're Coach McHugh in this huddle, 2 minutes to go, what are you telling your team?
Run some good offense, take good shots only. I'd tell them, the press break. Brockport's probably going to get into a full court press. Make sure everybody's in their spots and control the game like they have been. They've been calm, they've been cool, they've been collective, especially with Kearns leading the way. And I'll just tell them to continue that. This next play here, like I said, I'd expect Summers and Atkinson
Yep.
to play a little two-man.
Let's see what the Eagles draw up here. Atkinson gets it going downhill, leans in, and he draws the foul and will be going to the free throw line. Aggressive take by the senior.
Not sure if that's what Greg Dunn drew up, but in about 2 seconds, Atkinson, lightning quick, gets to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, and anytime you can stop the clock, shoot free throws, set up your press, it's a huge positive when you're fighting a deficit late in a game. So 2 seconds come off the shot clock, we get to stop, we get to breathe, we get to set up our press, and we get to put in 2 free throws at the line. First one's good for the senior from Hempstead, New York. And Atkinson makes both. He's a 58% free throw shooter, but buries both of these clutch free throws. Here's Kearns looking ahead, gets it to McMillan, over to Brueggemann, back to Kearns. And just like that, they've broken the press, and they'll get set up in their offense. Ball over to Alex Starr, working on Atkinson. Kearns up top versus Danny Ashley, the freshman. Senior on freshman. Ball screen coming from Mitchell, 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Another switch. Danny Ashley gets his hand on the ball again. Loose ball and a shot clock violation. What a defensive possession, not only by Brockport, but by the freshman Danny Ashley to get his hands on the basketball against the senior and turn him over. Minute 35, lead is 7. Atkinson working. Off the Summers pick and roll. Drives the baseline, kicks it to Hagens. 15-footer for Summers, no good. Great box out by Brueggemann. McMillan with the rebound. Will bring it across. Kearns, minute 20 to go. And Brockport showing zone. They're going to hope for a stop here in this possession. A lot of pressure by Atkinson. Dribble handoff to Brueggemann. Coach Greg Dunn wanted a travel there. Alex Starr working on Atkinson. Good hands by the senior. 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Here come the Eagles. 55 seconds left. Lobs it to Summers. Gets a hold of it. Summers goes up and sticks the basket. 50 seconds left. Timeout. Coach Dunn. 5-point game.
That's a high-level play there by Atkinson. With the slap down as a smaller guard, if you bring the ball low, he's taking it. He's quick. He's got good hands. Slaps it down. Dribbles it up in transition and throws it ahead. A perfect on-the-money pass to Summers that finishes the play.
Yeah, beautiful job by the senior to get the defensive stop, make the play on one end, and come down and get the ball to arguably the best and go-to player for the Brockport Eagles, where he's comfortable for an easy 2. 50 seconds left. The lead is 5. Next foul for Washington and Lee will put Brockport in the double bonus.
At this point in the game, definitely going to see a press by Brockport. And we'll see when Coach Dunn decides to foul here if they can't turn over Washington and Lee. The next one will be 1-1 for the Generals.
Ball inbounded to Kearns. Back to McMillan down the middle of the floor. Ahead to Gannon. Pulls it back out. McMillan, 24 on the shot clock. 42 second in the game clock. Hagens, no foul here yet by the Brockport Eagles. Down 5 to McMillan. McMillan down the middle. Takes a charge, and they call a block.
Big call there. Could have gone either way. Coach Dunn not happy with the call.
Not happy at all. Interesting strategy to not foul right away, down 5. And Washington Lee's able to work 20 seconds off the shot clock and then get to the free throw line. Now, 31 seconds left here. McMillan's first free throw is no good. So now a little pressure on the senior. Could make it a 6-point game with this shot. Alvarez checks into the game. Wallace.
This is a big shot here for the senior. He's had a great tournament.
And the second one's good for McMillan. Atkinson will bring the ball into the front court for the Eagles. Attacks middle, drives it, flips it to Summers, goes up, and a foul is called. Great play. Not a lot of time wasted. Summers will have a pair of free throws coming up. 6-point game, able to cut it to 4. 25 seconds left. Matt, what are your thoughts on the pressing so far of Brockport? Do they need to do anything differently? It seems like Washington and Lee has not been fazed by it very much.
Well, here I'd expect if they do not get a turnover, they're going to foul immediately within the first 3 or 4 seconds, because now it's a 2-possession game, no shot clock. They can hold for the rest of the game. So they got to foul. If they don't steal it off the inbounds, I'm expecting a quick foul from Brockport.
No substitutions here. Second shot for Summers coming up. Second free throw is good. 5-point game. Brueggemann gets open free. He drives it, and a foul by Hagens. 22 seconds on the shot clock, and Brueggemann will have a 1-and-1.
Washington and Lee is a team that knows how to play with the lead late in games. They handle the ball. Let's see how they do with the free throw line, as McMillan missed one last time.
Brueggemann front end. Cool as ice there for the sophomore.
And Coach
Knocks
Dunn
down the
bringing in
first.
the shooters.
Josh Nelson and Alvarez check into the game for Brockport. Little confusion there. Stroman was still in the game. Didn't know he was getting subbed out. the sophomore from Texas hits both free throws. Now a 7-point game with 22 seconds left. Big shots by Brueggemann. Here comes Atkinson, picks up his dribble. Down the middle, bumps Kearns, step back three. No good, rebound Mitchell. Got to foul him, and the big fella will go to the free throw line for a pair and a chance to put this game away.
And Brockport's not giving up. Senior Atkinson leading his group, huddling up before this next play.
Great job displaying senior leadership there to huddle him up. You never know. Crazier things have happened. 7-point game, 15.2 to go. Front end of the 1-on-1 for Mitchell. And count it. Second shot is good.
And how valuable is that for a guy at Mitchell's size to knock down his free throws in the clutch late in games?
It's huge. Most big men are not good free throw shooters. Ball back to Atkinson. Shoots it in and out. Rebound to Summers. Kicks it to Josh Nelson. Will take a three. And the ball's just not going in for Brockport, and that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Hagen's shot is blocked by Mitchell. And you see the excitement here of the Washington Lee University Generals and the few fans that made the long trip from Lexington, Virginia down to win the second annual Mauro Panaggio Invitational here in Daytona Beach, hosted by DME Sports Academy. A tough ending for the Eagles. 2 years in a row now, they have made it to the championship game and have fallen just short. Can't be an easy thing. You know, if you're Greg Dunn, what are you telling your team right now?
First of all, this was a very competitive game. These are two very talented teams at this Division III level, both with multiple Division I and Division II players. Decide to go to these Division III schools, and Coach McHugh and Coach Dunn, both very good coaches, coached a very hard-fought game. If these teams play again, who knows who could come out on top on a neutral floor. And we are going to announce the all-tournament and the MVP of the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in with us. We are moving it forward to the award ceremony, which will continue in our live stream. Thank you.